YouTube, welcome back. This is episode 5 of The Final Whistle. You have me, one of your hosts, Mike, at the bottom. You have Terrence to my left. You have Simon and Drew at the top right, and you have Chris at the top left. We got some interesting topics today. Starting off with some QB controversy / performances. Start with Phillip Rivers. I think he should have stayed on the couch.
Hold on.
No,
I've
you
been
don't
waiting
hold
for this
on.
moment. I've been waiting for this moment.
Here we
I've been
go.
waiting for this moment. Hold on. Now I will say this though. I will say this.
Should have stayed as a coach.
I will say this. Should he have came back? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I'm not gonna sit here and discredit what he did for his first game in 5 years.
Absolutely
What did he
nothing.
do? I'm not gonna sit here and discredit that. I'm gonna give him credit.
What did he do?
Credit
What
for
did
what?
he do?
Taking an L? Starting off with the flag already.
But hold on.
He had
He
had 120 and one touchdown. Congratulations.
18 for 27.
Average 4.
18 for 27 and 120 yards. Still lost the game.
He hasn't touched the ball in almost 5 years. 18.
That's why he should have stayed his ass on the couch.
No, you see. This is the thing though. Y'all expect a lot from this man.
No, we were not. No, we were not.
Y'all want
This is
man- y'all
exactly
want
what
this
we were expecting. We were expecting him to come in and lose.
Oh, and what's crazy though? What's crazy though? He didn't even play bad. 18 for 27 though.
He did checkdowns almost all game. That's terrible for a QB.
A QB who hasn't played in 5 years. Get this man a chance.
No, go take your ass back to high school coaching, bro.
But so you want this man right here?
Ain't no participation trophies out here, bro. You need to win and
ESPN
lose.
did not get it wrong by making him look like a lineman, bro.
Bro,
When I
he's
saw the
complete.
first image of him, I was like, dude, this looks like a tight end, borderline lineman.
Oh, that's
Now,
facts.
He's always been a big boy.
I'm not gonna say this though. I'm not. Am I gonna sit here and say that should be our quarterback? Hell nah. Fuck no.
So what are we talking about?
So what
because-
was in him?
So what are we giving him credit for? He lost.
I will say this though, but I'm not gonna sit here and discredit for the thing for his completions for 5 years though.
No, this is the NFL. No,
Who do we have though?
what did that 18 and 27 get y'all?
Could have literally got Taylor Heineke over Phillip Rivers. That was your best option.
Think about what you're saying, Chris. That man completed 18 passes and only had 120 yards. What does that tell you?
That's an average for a first to come back for a first.
No,
That's
that means everything he was throwing was short as fuck.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. Well, how would you want him to start off? How would you want him to ball out?
Let's just think about this for a second.
I get this.
Simple math. What's 18 times 10? That's 180. Meaning he wasn't even close to having 10 yards per completion. Like, what we talking about?
The Seahawks defense looked very good though, and he's not throwing inaccurate passes.
Thank you, Drew.
But it was
Thank you.
checkdowns.
Thank you.
He's looking good
Thank you.
downfield. They're
Thank
just
you. Hold on.
they're covering their
Let
own.
me
Say this, Daniel Jones would have done better.
I was literally about to come back.
Rivers did.
What?
Thank you. Mind
No,
you,
no,
this is the Seahawks.
No,
This is the Seahawks.
no. Y'all got lucky that the Seahawks were off offensively. If the Seahawks played how they normally play offensively, y'all would have got your ass blown out. They didn't score a touchdown and still beat y'all. What does that tell you?
We're not about to sit here and talk about how he literally played against the Seahawks. There's a team who literally has one of the best coverage defense.
They scored 15 points.
It looked like it. It looks
I would
like it.
also say, you say Phillip Rivers was accurate on checkdowns. I mean, I would hope a QB would be accurate on checkdowns. If you can't hit a checkdown,
All right,
just get
all
out
right,
of
Chris.
here, bro.
Let me ask you something. Are y'all making it to the playoffs?
Hell no.
So what are we talking about now? We lost the game.
We lost that chance after we lost that chance when we lost to the
So this ain't nothing but some more victory bullshit that you're talking about, man. Hey, don't nobody care like that.
I'm telling you, Daniel Jones would have done better.
What if we won or lost? What if we won or lost? That our chances of making it to the playoffs wasn't even going to be relatively close to 50%. It was only
That's
about
not
40.
true.
Man,
If
I
y'all
would
would have
take
won the
it.
game, y'all would have been right there with us. Y'all would have had the same record as us.
Y'all,
I would have
y'all
taken
damn
Anthony
near
Richardson
guaranteed to
with
make
one
the
eye over
playoffs.
Phillip
Y'all,
Rivers.
Bro, y'all are 8-4. Y'all would have been 9-5. We're 9-5 if y'all win the game.
but then that would have said it more been like, all right, it depends on
That's a good pass right there.
y'all win and our win or loss.
But
That's it.
that's my okay.
But hold on though.
You're
I
hoping
get
too
what
much
you're
that the
saying.
Texans will
I get,
lose out,
I
which
get
is
what you're saying
not
though.
realistic.
I get what you're saying, T. But I'm looking at it from a more realistic side though. Like our
And
chances
this
with
ain't, bro, this ain't Disney Channel. This ain't goddamn a Nickelodeon special, bro. I get that it's cool. He got off the couch after 5 years being a high school coach, and it's a good story. But bro, realistically, bro, he ain't do shit. If this was any other quarterback, we would not be talking about this.
I mean, it's the fact that it's Phillip Rivers, though. I mean, if you
Yeah,
want to be
nobody gives
real,
a
we
fuck,
did.
bro.
We had similar talks about this. Anthony Richardson, and he
Drew
was a
Brees
down.
was throwing the same type of passes at the back end of
And,
his career, and he still got more
Okay,
yards per
okay.
game.
If Anthony Richardson goes out there and throws one touchdown, 120 yards, and lose the game, that is not considered a decent game. Y'all lost. Nobody cares.
there are two aspects, though. One was it's a freshly young quarterback who literally just came from a draft, or mind you, if I'm not mistaken, first round, versus a fucking 48-year-old man who hasn't played since
44?
20. Huh?
44?
Yeah, 44, who hasn't even played since
48 would
2020.
be crazy.
That he, matter of fact, I don't even think he even had a full workout. He only been in workout not only a good 3 days, and he had to start right then and there. From
He
our
looked
knowledge,
good.
Yeah, he should have never did
Didn't
that.
he say in an interview that he's always ready?
I mean, you can always say that you can build your confidence, but but it takes
Oh,
a
so that
He
That,
word
kind of
come
looked
in there
bad.
now, huh?
it takes a lot for that. It takes a
Bro, you
lot.
know the worst part about this shit is that man was damn near in tears. Like he was happy after the game and they lost.
yeah, I'd
Like
be happy too if my insurance restarts for another 5 years.
bro, this is not Disney Channel. This is the NFL, bro.
I get
And
that.
as great of a story as it is, and look, okay, if you want to commend him for being able to get off the couch and go out there and do what he did, God bless. But this is about wins and losses, bro. This
I
is
get.
about performing. He did not do that.
I get that. But let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this. And hold on. Who did Mike said? He said we could have chose
Taylor
Tyler Heineke.
Heineke.
What
Yeah,
fucking
Taylor
difference is
Heineke.
that gonna make?
Cam Newton, Matt Ryan, go get one of them.
I'm telling you, Taylor, you saw what Taylor Heineke did the one time he was in the playoffs. That man almost beat
Matter of
Brady.
fact, let me just kind of close that case real quick. Cause let's look at Cam Newton's recent stats prior to his retirement.
The Colts
So Cam Newton,
almost. The
so
Colts
Cam Newton
almost won
came,
that.
came
Almost
Sorry,
don't
you
cut it
guys.
though.
Cam Newton's stats prior to retire, if I'm not mistaken, he retired back in 2021. Yards,
a
230 yards.
year after Phillip Rivers, by the way.
Hold on though. All right, let's see. All right, so 47 yards, 47 carries, 230 yards, 5 touchdowns. All right, cool. Cool. Let's look at Phillip Rivers stats prior to retirement.
It was. This was with the
But you're
Colts
What
as
is
also
well.
saying
that have to
prior.
do with
Yeah,
anything?
exactly. What's
Hold
prior
on,
to retirement have to
gonna
do
make
with
perfect sense.
anything?
It's gonna make perfect sense. Hold on, let's look at this though. Let's look at this.
This
What's
is a
this
moot point, though. What are we talking about?
What
Let's
does
look at
prior
this
to
though.
retirement have to do in the now, in the
Because
present
he said
day?
we could have got Cam Newton. Cam Newton, I don't think Cam Newton would even did just as good.
Would have had a
Bro, Cam
definitely
Newton
has
is
a better
like
arm than
7
Cam
years
Newton.
younger than him, still in shape.
You believe 100% that he would have did better than Phillip Rivers?
He
With
threw
Jonathan Taylor,
120
yes.
yards and one touchdown. Anybody could do that. We got backup quarterbacks to do better than that. When Joe Flacco came off the couch, what did Joe Flacco do? Phillip Rivers ain't do that shit.
I mean, there's a difference though. Joe Flacco was still on the team. He was benched. He was literally matter of fact, yeah, he
No,
was.
Joe
no, no.
Flacco's a
I'm not. I'm
certified backup at this point in his
no.
career.
2 years ago when Joe Flacco just came off the bench and went in for the Browns, no, he was not on the team already. He was damn near in the same situation Phillip
Okay.
Rivers is in.
But hold on, all right, but there's a difference though. There's a difference though. All right. Phillip Rivers been retired for 5 years. Joe Flacco probably only been retired for literally like a year and a half, too, at the
You
most.
know, Joe Flacco retired like in 2019 and then came back in 2023. We talking about 4 years. It's just 1 year difference.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Somebody's tackling.
So what we talking about? You don't even believe that he's going to get y'all to the playoffs. So what are we talking about, bro?
Be honest. You know, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think we going to the playoffs. Like just off
That's
the
my whole point. So like, it don't even matter. First of all, y'all lost, and then secondly, he did okay. But you don't even think he's going to do good enough to get y'all there. So what are we talking about? And what are we giving him credit for?
This like Arch. I'll say this, Arch. The chances
Joe
of the coach
Flacco
making a
did
play.
not actually retire in 2019. Joe, I mean, he was a backup, but like 2019, he played 8 games. 2020, 4 games. 2021, 1 game. 2022, 4 games. 2023, when he came off the couch, because he wasn't even in like Cleveland at the time for that 5-game span in the playoffs. That man started 5 games with 4-1, 123 completions off 204 attempts, 1,616 yards. Let's see where's touchdowns at. That man had 13 touchdowns at 8 picks. His QBR was 90.2.
Hey Chris, but Phillip Rivers ain't doing none of that, bro.
This the same quarterback who's still been on the team. We got Phillip Rivers who ain't never touched a fucking field in 5 years. And he did this
against y'all fault. Y'all don't bro. Y'all do not.
This is against the Seahawks, a team who has one of the best DB coverages.
And it looked like it, bro. He scored 15 points.
Hey, now I'm not gonna sit here that he's our saving grace. But I'm not going to sit here and say that he was trash for his first game back.
He was trash in his first game back.
Whoa. So you want this man to come out and just and throw 400 yards?
At least give me 10 yards per completion. He couldn't even do that.
Did y'all not sign him, Chris? Yes or no? And then when y'all signed him, did y'all not know he hadn't played for 5 years and that he was 44 years old? So fuck all that you talking about. When you sign him and you make him your starter, you expect him to go out there and win games. This ain't no feel-good story, bro. Fuck all that. I hear what you're saying, but bro, you got so many other young people out here, and it's only so many opportunities. It's only 32 people that get to start at quarterback every week, and he took one of those spots, and he did okay. I'm not going to even say he did trash, but what did he do? He did nothing, bro, and y'all lost the game, most importantly. So what are we talking about here?
I get that. But I will agree on you on that. I say this. We do have one thing in common that we can both agree on. Like, we should have did better with our quarterback selection. Matter of fact, we should have did better when we gave away our picks for Sauce Gardner.
So
how is he going to get a quarterback right then and there? The trade deadline's over.
So what? You want to give him a cookie for going out there and throwing 120 and a touchdown? That's what we doing? Get that nigga some Oreos and some Chips Ahoy on me, dude. He ain't good. Respectfully, bro. And I respect Phillip Rivers, bro. Phillip Rivers is going to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, unfortunately, he reset his shit because he went out there and played. He's doing it for nothing. He's not going to make the playoffs.
I can tell you what he's doing it for.
For that insurance.
That insurance was expiring this year. That man came back. He got 10 kids. I mean,
hey.
Come out of retirement too.
Sometimes you got to make that. Sometimes you got to make that. That
decision. Like, bro, on some serious shit, bro. Like, this felt like some high school musical shit that the Colts was on. It was a very desperate move to begin with, and then he go out there and do like basically the bare minimum. Now, he also threw an interception too. We're not gonna bring that up.
He did. I mean, but what quarterbacks don't throw interceptions? Come on.
Man, I ain't trying to hear that, bro.
What quarterbacks don't
Gee,
throw interceptions?
leave Disney alone, bro.
He gonna get us flag for on.
Nah,
He
I
said,
ain't even saying it in a
he said
bad way, cause
Disney's
I'm not trying to knock Disney. All I'm saying is this is the NFL. This ain't that, bro.
It's like
That's
the rookie,
the ironic
that
part.
Disney movie,
NFL is
The
owned by
Rookie.
Disney. That's the ironic part.
The Mickey Mouse Colts.
You think Jonathan Taylor cool with the fact that y'all started 9-1 and gonna miss the playoffs, and y'all got all of this hype about Philip Rivers who barely did anything?
Also, the fact that Jonathan Taylor was on an MVP level and that man's crashing and burning.
That part, bro.
Okay.
They're about to hold open tryouts like that one Disney movie, Invincible. The Colts need to have tryouts for their next
Y'all gonna
quarterback.
make me seem like I hate Philip Rivers, and I don't. I just think he was put in a no-win situation, and the hype is about him not playing and sitting out so long, and now he finally came back, and that's cool. But he ain't do nothing, and that's cool. You don't expect him to do nothing, but we ain't about to hype that shit up either.
Okay, I give you that. I give you that.
Chris,
I think it was one of the.
just accept reality. You go be on the couch just like, well, I can't even say. The Terrence, you ain't gonna be on the couch. You are gonna be on the couch watching the Texans in the playoffs while we gotta see our team just suffer another year.
I'll say this though.
Absolutely.
We'll be back next year.
You say this every year. At this point, just become a Dallas fan.
No, man, I can't leave my team. I can't
With
leave my team.
who?
Yeah, we will just be patient, man. Just be patient.
Who
Be
y'all
patient.
gonna get the quarterback next year?
Y'all gonna bring back the so-called Indiana Jones, or
He's not gonna even be available next year. He hurt.
I know we get AR though. He'll be back next season.
what's AR gonna do?
Oh,
So we'll figure out something.
Anthony Richardson.
I'll say this though. This is more like a filler.
Most definitely.
So I'm not mad. This is one of our best seasons. Within the past like what 2 years. So we're not gonna
And
get.
I get that y'all almost beat them. And I'm gonna be honest, like real shit. If that 56-yard field goal at the end misses, it changes the whole conversation because they would have hyped the shit up even more because he would have got a dub. But that's different because y'all got the win. But y'all lost, bro. So like, it don't really matter, bro.
I can kind of see like another perspective of why bring in Phillip Rivers, because you have a young QB in Anthony Richardson. You could try to have Phillip Rivers help with his development, which I can see that from that standpoint too. But at the point, like just throwing him into the fire, that wouldn't even move.
And I don't even think Philip Rivers is going to be in the building after this season. Like, Philip Rivers is going to go back to wherever his high school is, and he's going to be coaching that team, and Anthony Richardson is going to be in the locker room without him.
Man, but like I said though, yes, I'm gonna be here as a Colts fan. Did we fuck up? Yeah. Could we get to somebody better? Yes. Could we even pick up somebody better? Yeah.
Of course.
Did we have to get South Garden? No, we was good with what we had.
I mean, you gotta think from that standpoint though, because the way Daniel Jones was playing, you traded for Sauce Gardner because you needed a cornerback. Y'all were pretty much like, win now. Y'all were at the point, he's like, okay, I'm one piece away, and that one piece was a DB, was a corner. Y'all got a corner. Sauce got hurt, but I mean, ain't Sauce playing again too?
DB, though. No, he's hurt.
Yeah, Sauce got hurt, and then Daniel Jones got hurt, so just throw the whole season away at that point.
Yeah, that's what I said. And this is why I'm mad though, because I feel like we could have developed a DB, because DBs and receivers are easy to develop.
A corner is not. Do you know corner is the second hardest position in football, compared right behind QB?
Yeah, because you got a lot of things to do for a corner. Not only do you got to watch the ball, not only do you got to watch the quarterback, you got to watch the receiver. You also got to make sure that you can maintain that coverage in your zone coverage
while you're running backwards.
While also being able to get help that far in case.
Or backpedaling.
Even then with the backpedaling, it takes a lot.
Cornerback might be one of the hardest positions. I'm gonna keep it band with you though, bro. Respectfully, Philip Rivers out here living a Make-A-Wish kid fantasy.
I ain't gonna lie. I
He's
ain't
going to
gonna
Disney
lie.
World after this. Hey, he
Hey,
ain't going back to
man.
St. Michael's, okay, in Fairhope, Alabama. I'll tell you that.
And that's for all respect to bro, because I understand that in his era he was one of the greats. But like we said last week, bro, Philip Rivers probably ain't even top five in this era. And I'm not trying to take shots at him or his legacy. I admit he's a Hall of Famer and he belongs. But bro, we're not gonna talk about him like he's something that he wasn't. He ain't really accomplished much. And he didn't do much Sunday either, bro. He was 1 for 1. He had a touchdown and an interception. He had 120 yards. It's a lot of people in the league, especially backup quarterbacks, that can do that and then some. So what are we talking about?
You right. You right.
Could have put Davis Mills on that Colts team, and he would have won that game.
Man, Davis Mills won 3 games, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. David Mel been that nigga.
One
Y'all
of
just
them, one of them against Buffalo. One of them, man. Like what we talking about?
You gotta give credit to that Texans defense, though.
I will. Like I give you that. But the thing is, like, you got to give credit to the Colts defense because that's what kept them in the game. How about that? Like, if you came on here and told me that he had a chance, acknowledge the fact that the defense didn't give up a touchdown. The Seahawks scored 6 field goals. That's what kept y'all in the game.
I feel that though. But this is what my thing with the Colts defense though. And this is what frustrates me. It's like we have the power, we can stop that shit, but we don't do the shit when we really need to.
And
The
that's
Colts
it.
defense really isn't fully healthy either, too.
And it's like, bro, because like I can go into stats about that shit itself. But that's just right. It's like we are like we not clutch. Like yes, we have
Nah,
a amazing good D line. We have a amazing good linebacker that can stop the run. But like just to kind of put this, just to kind of like make this story short. Our coverage defense is ass.
so, Chris, are you saying that y'all did good early in the season, but when it mattered the most, y'all fell off? Because I remember telling you this on, I think, the very first show that we did, and you swore y'all were making the Super Bowl. You swore I wasn't telling the truth. Somebody saw this coming. Now, did I see it coming in the form of Daniel Jones getting hurt and all of that? No, but if we keeping it a buck, y'all were falling off before Daniel Jones got hurt. That's all I'm saying.
I don't say we would falling off, but
Y'all lost 3 or 4 before he got hurt.
Yeah, now that Daniel Jones has gotten hurt, it's just a straight crash and burn.
And then y'all went and signed a 44-year-old who ain't played since we was all wearing masks and saying 6 feet apart from each other.
But he's 7 on the all-time passing list.
Bro,
All time.
That'll
I
make
that's
know we
him.
throw
bro.
more now.
You know what
But
Philip Rivers is like? That's like when you playing football at Thanksgiving and you go ask your old ass uncle to play all-time quarterback for y'all. That's
if
what
your
you're doing right
uncle
now.
if your uncle was top 10 best to ever throw the football,
Was.
Philip Rivers is not top 10.
was
No, he
yeah.
wasn't.
he was not
He's
top 10. I'm
seventh.
sorry.
He's seventh, bro. He has 63,560 yards
That's the
all time.
longevity. That's the longevity award. You could definitely name 10 quarterbacks over Philip Rivers.
Not with
You can
those.
name. You can
Not
name
with those.
five.
If you want to be real, Tom Brady's over him because he threw for like
Not with
80.
those passing
Oh,
yards.
Yes, you can, bro. Philip Rivers isn't even top 5 in his era.
I'm looking right at it.
No, no, no.
He's number 7.
I get the stats that you're saying, but you got to also remember that Philip Rivers was an Iron Man. Philip Rivers played almost like 200 games straight. He didn't miss games. So of course, that's the longevity award. That's the equivalent of LeBron getting the scoring record. It doesn't make you the greatest scorer, but if you play that long and play that many games, you should get that many yards.
I don't know. I
And
think that's something that makes him great. I don't
I
know.
mean, but you're
it
also in the
does, but
era
it doesn't
playing
make
with
them
like
top
Tom
10.
Brady, you're playing with Drew Brees, you're playing with Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning. He wasn't even top
Everybody,
5 in his era.
everybody y'all named, but Eli is ahead of him.
Eli has 2 Super Bowls.
Brett Favre is someone y'all didn't name. That's ahead of
Brett
him.
Favre.
Brett
Let's
Favre is
put Brett
that.
Oh,
Favre ahead of him.
Brett Favre definitely over Phillip. I'm sorry.
So this is the old man, like,
I say this
stat.
though. Like
And we didn't even bring up the Dan Marinos, the Joe Montanas, the John Elways of the world, the Troy Aikmans of the world. These are all people that
They're
have.
here too. They're here too.
That's all I'm saying. Phillip Rivers isn't top 10 all time. He
He's
might have
on that list. He's on the list. I mean,
how
of all
about
time.
passing yards. That doesn't
Passing
make
yards.
that's not the end all be all of like the best
What do they
quarterbacks of all
do?
time. Bro.
What do quarterbacks do other than fucking run? They throw the damn football.
What about touchdowns? What about Super Bowls? What about MVPs? Do that
Those
not
matter
have a
too.
effect?
Those matter too. Those
I would
matter too.
argue they matter more than the yards.
Okay.
I will say if
I
you're
mean,
a QB with
quarterbacks throw
with
the
a lot of
ball.
yards, you've either been playing for a long time or you've been always playing from behind for a long time too.
But would you not be good if would you not play a long time if you weren't good? I mean,
Look, if I'm being honest, I'm gonna bring up Drew Brees again. I will take Drew Brees not throwing for 5,000 yards so many times. I would trade that for him getting at least one or two more Super Bowls, because that means if you're throwing for like 4,000, that means like your team's overall is balanced. Like you don't need to throw the ball so many times.
True. I'm gonna tell you how much yards don't matter. Do you know who has the second most yards and a game thrown of all time as the record? It is Matt Schaub. He threw 527 yards in a game, and then Matt Schaub is now nowhere to be found. Like quarterbacks can do that, but if they're not winning and if they don't translate that to Super Bowls and Super Bowl appearances, it doesn't really amount to much.
I don't know.
You also got rating the fact that James Winston threw for like 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 30 picks.
Russell Wilson just threw for what, damn near 400 something on the Cowboys in a loss, by the way. Like, it's guys that could do that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that list is cool and it's a good metric, but it's not the end all be all. Like, Phillip Rivers is not top 10 all time.
Well, I would say that like going to the Super Bowl isn't the end all be all either, because it takes a whole it takes a whole team though. It takes a whole team. I mean, but if the quarterback had a lot to do with it, he probably had a hell of a lot of passing fucking yards.
Eli Manning has 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
He's on that list though too. He's on that list.
So Eli Manning would be over him. Drew Brees is over him.
Yeah.
Phillip,
Not in passing yards, but
Manning,
as in all-time quarterbacks, I agree with you. But I mean, that's a pretty damn good metric to talk about quarterbacks.
not all the time though.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if he won a Super Bowl, we'd be talking different.
He never even won an MVP. He made, I think, one conference championship. Like,
What could have been?
Never saw a Super Bowl.
He still can do it. He still can do it. He's got a chance.
Couldn't do it.
oh man,
He's got a
like,
game
what's
coming
next,
up.
man?
Well, we spent too much time on one quarterback. We need to be talking about another quarterback that's in Miami right now. That's sitting on the bench like another quarterback that's in Atlanta right now. We got Tua turn the ball over.
that's what I thought you were about to talk about. Yeah,
Tua turnover.
One bench this motherfucking ass ASAP. He should have been benched ASAP.
He shouldn't even get that much money either. That man got paid like a top 5 QB, and that man has never produced like a top 5 QB ever in his career. Also, I think Tua he has 20 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. That's a horrible ratio. With all those weapons you got in Miami to be playing how bad you are right now.
Can we also point out the fact that there's been a few different occasions where Tua looked like Manny Pacquiao when he got knocked out on the field?
Let's just kind of talk about this though. You mean to tell me?
And that man also goes in an interview saying that there's nothing else that he could have done. It was like, quite frankly, you're the QB. You could have played a lot better. If you played a lot better, you would not be on the bench.
That, and also, let's also talk about how this dude, let's talk about like the last 3 games. Mind you, he threw. Well, let's talk about who do you play the week before last?
You want me to pull up Tua's stats from the last 3 games?
I know The one that he won, 'cause it was two. It was two. It was two. He won two of them. Then he lost a couple days ago. I think it was the Saints first.
No,
He
they
lost
beat
to
the
the
Saints.
Steelers
They beat
last.
the Saints. So last
Okay, cool.
three games, we had the Saints, Jets, and Steelers. Steelers
Okay.
78.6% completion rate, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Against the Jets, mind you, who are arguably one of the worst teams in the NFL,
The worst team.
61.9% completion rate, 127 yards, 1 touchdown, 94.7 QBR rating.
Hold on,
Against the
mind you this.
Saints, 52.2% completion rate, 157 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick.
And I was also going to piggyback on that too. You mean to tell me you could throw for more than, like, you threw for more? First of all, against the Saints, you only threw 157 yards.
The Saints,
You only threw
the
100.
Saints have been making quite a run now. Not happy about it, but I mean they
Yeah,
make it a
yeah,
run.
yeah. I'm not going to discredit the Saints. The Saints are, like, they're doing good. I mean, it's too little, too late. No disrespect. But
Oh,
you mean to tell me you only threw for 157 yards, no touchdowns?
whoa.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you
So,
get back to that.
157 yards ain't much, but I guess 120 just all of a sudden is good when Phillip Rivers do the shit.
I mean, there's a difference though. One's a starter who been starting since for almost like
No, no,
4 or 5
no,
years.
no. You are starting a NFL game. None of that shit matters once that clock goes from 15 in the first quarter to 14:59. Once that game start, all that shit go out the window. You are on the field playing.
I don't want to bring. I don't want to bring it back.
Damn.
I know we're on a tour. I know we're on tour. I don't want to bring back the Phillip Rivers thing. But let's just kind of make one thing clear. First of all, Tua was playing against the Saints. Literally one of the second worst teams in the NFL.
I
If
give you
not,
that.
Second
okay.
worst. There's more teams that's worse than us, buddy.
These are all still NFL professionals, though.
I get that though. I get that. But you mean to tell me against the Saints, you only threw for 157 yards for no touchdown?
You want to talk about my
At
team right now? We
least.
both gonna be on the couch and not seeing our teams in the playoffs. I don't want to hear it. Get them out of here.
I'm with you though. I'm with you though. Tua should have been benched. And here's the thing: it's not just that Tua wasn't playing well, but early in the season he was making a lot of noise in the media. There was a lot of post game press conferences and like during the week press conferences where he was throwing his team underneath the bus. And I guess you could say he was trying to like be a leader or something, but like he kind of brought this on himself. Like once you put that target on your back, you got to go out there and ball, and he didn't do that. So like this was kind of, we saw this coming, and like Mike said, they definitely shouldn't have paid him that money. Like it kind of scrapped them in a place where now they can't really do much, and I think that's the only reason it took so long for him to get benched. You paying him that much, you can't
in
can't have it
total.
on the time.
I think in total, if he's like a post June 1st cut or June 15 cut, he's still like owed 99 million in total.
Yeah, they should have never did that shit.
Honestly, I see what they're probably gonna do. They're more than likely it's gonna be the same situation Kirk Cousins in. You gotta be paying a backup QB all that money.
And go draft somebody.
I mean, you starting Quinn.
Oh, you got Quint Ewers.
You gotta see what.
If he go out there and ball, you never know.
Yeah, they go start Ewers and see what they got in him. But I mean, they don't see any flashes of him being a potential like starter in the NFL. You go and get a guy maybe in the draft, or you see something you might like in Ewers, may give him a full year. If he does good that full year, stick with him. Does terrible, you get a QB in the next draft.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Tua's peak was 2 years ago when he put 73 points on the Broncos, and everybody thought they was the greatest show on turf and that they was about to be the next great offense. And since that moment, they haven't done a damn thing, bro. And realistically, I don't think Tua deserved that contract. I think he's crazily overpaid.
Tua
And
ain't really did nothing since his two best years. His two
Also,
best
let's start
years.
with the fact too that he has two wide receiver ones in He had two wide receiver ones in Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. And you tell me you still can't win games? You tell me like Joe Burrow with no O line can do a lot better with another set of two wide receiver ones compared to what Tua could do?
that part.
I said it. Yeah. So yeah, Tua. I'll say this though.
If I'm also not mistaken, Miami's offensive line is a lot better than Cincinnati's offensive line. So it's not like you don't have time to throw. Also, you have a top 5 running back too as well. Let's throw that in too.
I'm about to say, got the front action back there, bro. Like, man.
You got like a top 5 running back, a top 10 and top 15 receiver in the league, and you telling me you can't perform?
And mind you, bro, I'm an Alabama fan. I have all the love for Tua in the world, but you gotta call a spade a spade. That man was the #1 overall pick, and he has not produced at all. And this could very well be one of them like a Baker Mayfield situation where maybe Tua needs to go to another situation that develops him better. Because I can see, like, if Tua goes to maybe New Orleans or somewhere, like, maybe he'll be better.
I don't want to see that man in New Orleans ever. I knew
you was going to say that. I'll be real, though.
I'm being honest.
But he may go somewhere just in general and be better. But
look, I'm being
Miami.
I can see him definitely going to either the Raiders. I could definitely see him going.
I don't think Pete Carroll wants that, bro.
But what's crazy though, his playing Tua's playing style low key fits Pete Carroll's.
I don't think Tua's leadership fits Pete Carroll's agenda though. Tua's not a great leader, and he's proved that in the media. It's kind of like the same situation you saw with Zach Wilson whenever he was in that interview. Is like, whenever they asked him, do you think the offense could have done more that one game whenever the defense was getting all them stops, but the offense couldn't do nothing? And he said, no, it's definitely not on me as a quarterback, not on the offense.
Yeah. Like Tua, bro, he just, like Mike said, he's not a leader, and he's not that dude on the field either. So he doesn't compensate on either side. Like, and as a quarterback, you have to, at the very least, do one or the other. You either got to be somebody that people go out there and play for, or if they don't like you, they have to put up with you because you out there balling. And he ain't neither one.
And I will also say, like, if you're just gonna have that arrogance and cockiness in the media, you have to perform on the field. You can't just talk in the media and then go out on the field and not, like, put your team in winning situations. Like, everybody criticized whenever Baker Mayfield did stuff like that, but I mean, Baker was not only like talking the talk, he was walking the walk with the Bucs in like the first half of the season.
That part. And what they made? Have they made the playoffs the last 3 years?
No,
I think they made it in once. They went to Kansas City in the snow game and lost.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago. It was the year when Tyreek had almost like 2,000 receiving yards and shit like that.
Yeah, it's the year that he fell short of 2,000. I think that was his first year in Miami.
Yeah,
the same year where Tua put up 70 points on the Broncos.
Bro, that's another thing. Tua saying like he can't win anywhere that is cold, bro.
I mean, this season he just can't win anywhere.
That part. Nah, but I'm not mad at him getting benched. I mean, it's one of them situations you obviously want to give people time to develop, but he's had that time. And let's talk about the elephant in the room, his health, bro. Like, how many more times do we need to see Tua with rigor mortis on the field? Like, I don't think he ever...
It's like the most annoying thing that I've seen with him. Like, every time he's taken down and, like, he has times, like, I know you for a fact as a quarterback when you're going down, like, on your back, I know you're taught to tuck your chin. That man does not tuck his chin. He just takes like, he lands head first on his back. I'm like, dude, start tucking your chin.
So, and then on the flip side, I'm actually very interested to see how Quinn Ewers performs in the NFL. Like, I think this is a good opportunity for him. And he doesn't have to necessarily do great. If he just shows some potential, I think he might end up like taking a job potentially long term.
I mean, I think Ewers shows flashes for these next couple of games. I say they'll roll with him for like one more year because I'm not mistaken, he was like a 7th round pick, so he's gonna be on that shorter leash. But if he does show that potential, I say at most they'll give him all the next year, and if he doesn't perform, they're gonna get a quarterback in that draft.
And I can still see them drafting somebody.
He's gonna get released, but he's gonna get picked up though. I'll say this though, Tua, despite him being a concussion prone quarterback, Like he still got talent. I'm not going to sit there and discredit.
Who's going to want a quarterback that's arrogant in the media and can't perform on the field?
That's what they said about Baker, bro. And Baker went somewhere else and started balling out.
That's different though. You saw like what Baker was working with less at times. You even saw like how when Baker went to the Rams in like what 1 or 2 days, came in like one game and single handedly came back and won that game.
No, I get. But all I'm saying is, in the last few years, we've seen people like Baker and even like Sam Darnold be written off and then go in different situations and thrive. So I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not necessarily predicting that, but I think he will at least get that opportunity.
I mean,
I have no idea, but we're gonna see.
You can kind of just see it the way Tua's been playing. Like as soon as he got paid, he just don't care no more.
Pretty much.
I feel like he's going to the Jets. I feel like
bro, you said it right before I could. Because if Tua go to the Jets, he could do better than Justin Fields, bro. With Garrett Wilson,
I don't know.
Same division too.
If I'm being honest, I don't know. Stay with Garrett Wilson, but I mean, look what you're doing with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
He would definitely help out the Jets. You know, he would definitely turn the Jets franchise team around. That's why I said
that's a little strong. I don't know about turning.
I will look down that. I will look down that here though.
Turn it around is not the same thing.
Can the Jets even pay him what like he thinks he's worth?
I mean, you won't even have to pay him. That's the thing. Absolutely. Like he's gonna be pulling in so much money from Miami. Like you could take a 1-year prove-it deal anywhere. It doesn't even really matter.
Yeah.
Because for the next 2 years, he's getting paid so much from Miami if they release him.
It'll be like on some Russell Wilson shit where like they just cut him and just be like, fuck it, we'll pay him, but we don't want him no more.
Because regardless, next year, even if he's like a June 15th or June 1st post cut, he's still fully guaranteed $64 million next year.
Mm-hmm.
And then the following year, I think it's like 34 million, something like that he's gonna be guaranteed.
They did that when they were peaking, or what?
That was just in his contract. So like, whenever they signed him to that contract, next year, I mean, 64 million is guaranteed next year, no matter what you do. And then the following year, it's like 34 million that's guaranteed.
What it is, Drew, is like when you have a quarterback on a rookie deal, when that deal is up, you have to make a really important decision. It's, do we keep this guy that we've invested this many years in and pay him, or do we let him go and start from scratch? And he wasn't necessarily great, but like he was good enough to where they made the decision that they were going to pay him in hopes that he had the potential to take them to the next level. What we've seen since he got paid is he hasn't done any of that. Like, if anything, they've regressed. They haven't gotten better. They've gotten worse since that situation. And it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. Like, even if Tyreek Hill was healthy, I don't think the Dolphins season looks any different.
If I'm also being honest, I don't even think Tyreek's coming back next season either. I think Tyreek's going to go ahead and call it a career.
Think so?
I don't think so.
Somebody like him, I don't see them wanting to go out that way. Like, even if it's just for one more year.
If he comes back next year, I mean, he was still initially before he planned on doing finishing out the Miami contract and then retiring.
Yeah, like somebody like him, I don't see they want to go out on their own terms, and he's a freak athlete. So, and it was like a broken leg that he went out on, or what happened? I can't remember.
It was either like a broken leg or it was like a torn something. Let me see if I can pull up these details.
But either way, like I don't see him ending his career off of an injury. He's definitely going to come back and want to go out on his own terms, even if he can't play like he used to. And the crazy thing is, even Tyreek Hill with a lost step is still faster than most of the league, so he'll still be effective.
So it was not only his ACL, but like a lot of other ligaments along with it.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Like, I know it was a nasty injury. It was like on the sideline. I forgot who they was playing, but I remember like they had to put it in an air cast, basically.
I mean, if he does come back, I mean, I still think he'll be like pretty quick. He's just not gonna have like that blazing speed that you've seen like in previous Tyreek Hills, just because of how many ligaments he tore in that knee.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see what he wants to do though. Because think about it though, what if they decide to go with Tua again next year? I don't think he's gonna want. I don't think he wants to keep playing with that QB. I think he's fully done with Tua.
He low-key was talking about how he wanted to potentially be traded this past offseason. Him getting hurt kind of puts him in place, though. Like, I don't think he'll go anywhere. I think if he comes back, it's going to be with Miami. But we're going to see, man. And I'm interested to see what their decision-making is like a quarterback after this season. Because for you to bench him this deep into the season, it's sending a message that you kind of lost faith in him in a sense. So how do you like bring him back in and put him back as your starter after that?
I mean, another interesting thing to talk about with the Dolphins, it's gonna be like Mike McDaniels. Like, what are you gonna do with Mike McDaniels? Because I'm pretty sure they're gonna go ahead and let him finish out this season. But the question is Mike McDaniels still gonna have a job?
He needs to be fired, bro. Straight up. Because we're talking about Tua not being a leader, but he's not a leader either, bro. That man looked like a hippie that's leading the team half the time, bro. And like you can't have that like laissez-faire, laid-back approach and be a leader of NFL teams where you got a bunch of grown men who's not doing this shit for fun, but to put food on their table for their family. And like he comes in even in the post-game interviews, and he just seems like nonchalant about things at times. And that's not really what they need there. And if they get another coach, then I can definitely see Tua getting another opportunity. But one of those has to go. Either Tua isn't going to be their quarterback or Mike McDaniels isn't going to be their coach. And shit, it might mess around and be both if you're keeping it a bean.
I mean, if we're being if you fire a head coach and like you have a QB, even though like Tua's being paid all this money, he's playing like a bottom 15 QB in the league right now. So 9 times out of 10, when you bring in a new coach, he's more likely gonna go get his own quarterback. That's normally how coaching goes. Unless you just like have a certified star quarterback, like how John Harbaugh came in with Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Or like how Vrabel came in with Drake May. Like honestly, 10 times out of 10, if they get a new head coach, he's definitely got to take a QB unless they see something in Ewers.
And you know, like situations like this, bro, it goes back to that conversation when Brian Flores was talking about how he didn't want to. And I think he wanted, what was it, Justin Herbert over Tua?
Yeah, he wanted
And it's
Herbert.
like, he got crucified for that. But when you kind of look back at it in hindsight, he might have had a point, bro, because Justin Herbert in Miami with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, could you imagine that shit, bro?
Miami probably would probably have a Super Bowl by now.
Or at least, man, a deep playoff run. You know, with Mahomes and Allen and Lamar, it's hard to say if they would have made it there, but they would have been in that conversation at least.
Seeing Herbert and Allen twice a year too?
Yeah. That would have been crazy.
Yeah, that would have been a team.
No,
I feel like if we would see like the Herbert Allen like twice a year, that kind of be like I would bring up the rivalry like with Brady and Manning in a way.
Yeah, that would have been crazy to see, man. We gonna see, man.
Not gonna lie though, whenever Brady went to Tampa, seeing Breeze and Brady twice a year, even though they was both at the back end of their careers, if they would have seen them in their primes though, that would have been something.
Crazy. Hey man, I still go back to that missed pass interference, man, because we got robbed of a Brady Breeze Super Bowl over that shit.
Yeah, dude, that should have been a Brady Breeze Super Bowl, but Vegas had to go do something.
Hey, go like you know what adds more insult to injury? Them niggas created a whole rule because of that.
And he still did nothing. That's even more wild too.
I feel them. Because that was definitely a missed call, but the part that people always forget to mention is y'all did get ball first in overtime.
The pick, I went back and watched the film. The pick that Breeze threw, that was another pass interference that was missed.
What you mean? The dude he threw it to is by himself.
To Michael Thomas?
No, like wasn't you got to correct me if I'm wrong. I might need to go back and watch it, but when the dude intercepted it, I don't think it was anybody else near him.
It might have been a different clip that I saw because I saw a clip where Michael Thomas was being held, and it was like either an interception or it was a pick that wasn't called. But there was PI on Michael Thomas that wasn't called.
Yeah, man. I do feel for y'all. I don't know which one is worse, that one or the Stephon Diggs situation.
Definitely the no call, because like with a no call, you pretty much like know, like if you get that
The
first
game would have been
down,
over.
you know if you get that first down, Breeze has got to milk that clock, especially that year the year he was having. He's got to milk that clock. He got a chance to get one more first down. Would have been able to milk the clock to the end of the game, kick a field goal, over. On to the Super Bowl, Breeze versus Brady.
I would have loved to seen him playing another Super Bowl too, bro. That would have been cool, especially against Brady.
And that year, like the way the Patriots were playing, especially in that Super Bowl, because I think at the time the Saints had one of like the top 5 offenses, and that was like one of the years the Patriots had like a middle of the pack defense too.
That was the Super Bowl that they won
against the Rams,
13-9,
like 13-10.
That boring ass Super Bowl. Breeze would have definitely scored more points than that.
And that was like the year like Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram like really took off.
Yeah. That would have been interesting.
But how are we feeling about the Broncos their chances of making the Super Bowl?
Ooh. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. As a Texans fan in the AFC, there's only one team that I am worried about, and it might be Denver. And the only reason is because they have a great defense just like us. Every other team defense is like middle of the road, average to, above average maybe. But they're probably the most balanced team in a wide open AFC. They're the hottest team too. I think they won 10 or maybe 11 games in a row. 12.
It's like 11, 10 or 11. I think it's 10 in a row. I don't know if you watched like the Packers or Broncos last week, but I tuned into that game. If Bo Nix plays if he continues playing the way he played against the Packers, that team's gonna be unbeatable.
Yeah, and that's what scares me about them, bro. And then you have a real home field advantage too, because you playing in a Mile High City, so if the team isn't conditioned right, or you know what I'm saying, going up there in that altitude, bro. And then Bo Nix, one thing about him is he's clutch. In fourth quarters, he comes through when he needs to. So
clutch.
Yeah, if you saw in his post game interview, he was like, "We could have scored a lot more points, but I guess we like 1-score games."
Yeah, I was saying to people bro, I felt like Denver hadn't played too many tough teams, and I feel like Green Bay would show us if they were legit or not. And I think we found out nah, they really do this. They're about that life. I still have that question about the Patriots, but Denver not so much. I think they have a very clear road to the Super Bowl, but at the same time, they're also vulnerable as a number 1 seed too. They're not invincible, but they are probably the favorite to come out of the AFC.
I would say when I was watching that Packers Broncos game, I feel like it would have been higher scoring until Christian Watson got hurt. Because at that point, nobody in the league besides a DB like Patrick Surtain was keeping up with how Christian Watson runs. Because once he got hurt, you pretty much lost your deep threat. The only person that could beat you down deep down the field. And once that pretty much made Green Bay one-dimensional. Josh Jacobs couldn't get anything. Jordan Love wasn't doing anything after Watson went down. That Green Bay team just has a lot of questions to answer. What do we do going forward without Christian Watson?
I think that Micah injury was demoralizing too in a way. But the Broncos, bro, they're a tough team because they do a lot of things well that constitute to winning. They play defense. They're good on both sides in the trenches. Their O-line is good, but their D-line is good too. I think their D-line leads the league in total sacks as a unit.
Yeah, so, they lead the league in sacks.
Bro, you're not going to have time to throw on them. And then on the back, it kind of reminds you of the Texans defense in the same sense. Like they're built very much like us, but just being honest, bro. When the clutch moments come, I think most people would trust Bo Nix over CJ, and that's me saying that as a Texans fan, and I couldn't really argue against that. And we'll see what happens, but yeah, they might be the favorites right now.
One thing I was like seeing like before, like this was way back when Bo Nix was like still in the draft, like his whole draft evaluation. A lot of people were saying like Bo Nix was like they compared him to Drew Brees, but they were saying Nix was like a more mobile Drew Brees with a stronger arm. And I didn't even believe it at first, but now that like the way that I'm seeing him play like this late stretch of the season, I'm starting to see that might actually would have been a true statement. And I hate to admit
The only thing is, oh, go ahead.
I just hate to admit that, you know, that he's a more mobile Drew Brees, because let's be honest, we're never going to see like another Drew Brees. We're never going to see another Tom Brady. Never going to see another Phillip Rivers another prime Phillip Rivers. Never going to see another Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, the greatest quarterback of all time. The most clutch quarterback of all time.
But I do kind of like this newer generation of QBs with like their athleticism.
Drew, I'm gonna let you get away with that because we're talking about something else.
Chris taught me that.
Man, I don't think the Drew Brees comparisons are far off, especially when you consider that it's the same system pretty much. Like Sean Payton, I think sees that as well, and he has him playing pretty good.
That's exactly why Sean Payton drafted him, because I think in an interview he's like, he reminds me a lot about a quarterback I had in New Orleans.
Yeah, man. And just the way that they play is very physical, and they wear you down. And like their ability to finish games and the clutch. The only thing about that is, I always say, like, if you win a lot of close games, that shows that you're clutch, but it also could catch up with you because you're not gonna always win the close game. So if you get caught slipping when it matters the most, it's an any given Sunday type of league. So in the playoffs, though, if you lose that close game, you go home. Like all of this shit don't even matter. So that's why I say they're not like they're vulnerable. That's why I say they're vulnerable because I think any team in the AFC could beat them, but I think they are the most complete. So you would have them as the favorite, but it's not like for sure that they're making a Super Bowl. But I think a lot of people can see them have a path there.
Also, I think the AFC Championship may either be, to me, it may be Broncos is going to be there for sure, in my opinion. But
Broncos definitely going to be there.
It's going to be out of the Patriots, the Bills, and the Texans. That's going to be my three to be, other three to be in the AFC Championship.
It really comes down to seeding, and these last few weeks are going to be like crucial with that because right now the Texans sit at number 7. But like if the Chargers lose and we win, we'll go up to 6, and if the Bills lose, we'll go up to 5. Like, and that'll play a big part because whoever's the lowest seed remaining will play the Broncos in the second round, and then whoever got to go see them may not make it to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, I'm also saying like I believe it was like way back at episode 1 or 2 or 3. I don't know whenever I said this, but I'm saying like this should have been the year that Josh Allen like wins the Super Bowl. Just kind of looking like what Josh Allen has around him. He's still kind of only working, which is like a top 5 running back. Like his receivers ain't doing nothing. It's just really James Cook and Josh Allen in that offense.
Say this, as much as I say Denver is the favorite, don't sleep on the Bills because one thing the Bills have over Denver is they've been here before. I think Denver made the playoffs last year as a wild card.
I think they made the playoffs, and I think they had to see the Chiefs again, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but like when it comes to them big moments, high stakes, AFC Championship, divisional rounds, championship games, we know Josh Allen can rise to those occasions. Now he hasn't won any of those games, but it was to Pat Mahomes and like Joe Burrow. This year, if he doesn't get that done, it's a whole different conversation because it's kind of like if you don't do it this year, you're never going to do it because this is the most wide open the AFC has been in a long time. Like the boogeyman we already took him out. The big bad wolf, that man already dead. So if you Josh Allen, you gotta get that shit done this year.
Another QB that I wish I would have been seeing in the playoffs this year would have been Joe Burrow too.
Yeah, it would have been cool, but I think the injury derailed their season a lot, and the defense early on because even if he didn't get hurt, I don't know how many games they win just because their defense was kind of trash. They've come on as of late, but we saw last year that man threw for damn near 5,000 yards, and they still didn't make the playoffs. So I
That's only
since he's
because
just a
that's only
flawed
because the Broncos
organization.
had won that last game.
Yeah, since he's just a flawed organization, I also don't sleep on if Lamar makes it to the playoffs. I said Denver is the only team I'm worried about, but I'm gonna keep it a band. I'm praying the Ravens don't get in because that's another team I just don't want to see. Because I don't know if people paying attention, but Lamar is getting healthier and he's starting to run more, starting to be more effective, and starting to look like himself. If he
Mhm.
catches stride at the right time, don't nobody want to see that shit either.
I think y'all would be all right. That man Lamar against like a top 5 defense that's very physical. That's one
I
of the
mean, the man
defenses
give
that the
us,
Texans has.
Who they
Lamar's not
give
gonna.
us the blues every time.
I don't
Lamar
think Lamar.
Jackson?
I don't think Lamar Jackson is surviving a physical defense again. Like you've seen year after year, Lamar chokes in the playoffs.
I'm gonna tell you this, Mike. Here's the only reason I would be worried. As great as our defense is, if you look at the one stat that we fail in, it's the quarterback scramble. That's how Baker Mayfield beat us. It's how a lot of quarterbacks beat us late. And who's better at that than him? Like as far as QB contain, that is, if we had an Achilles heel, that would be it. Because sometimes we're over aggressive, and he would be the one that would exploit that shit to the degree. That's why I don't want to play him.
I mean, I get what you're saying there, but I mean, it's just like the stat shows that Lamar chokes in the playoffs year in, year out.
That's big facts. Now last year, Mark Andrews got to catch that shit, bro. Real talk. But I get what you're saying. What I said about Josh Allen kind of goes for Lamar Jackson too. If he's even gets in, like that's still a if. But if he gets in, it's no excuses at that point. And like if one of those two don't make it to the Super Bowl this year, it hurts both of them. I wouldn't say long like forever because they could still make up for it, but it's a kind of a missed opportunity because Pat Mahomes is down, bro, and that's been the guy that's been standing in y'all way the last 5 years, and he's finally not there, and y'all didn't take advantage. Y'all let one of these young quarterbacks like bro. Drake May is in his second season. Bo Nix is in his second season. CJ is in his third season. Like y'all have been here. It's supposed to be y'all turn, and if y'all don't take advantage, that sucks.
I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, it is every given Sunday. It's
Yeah.
whoever makes more plays, whichever coach is the better coach, whichever players are the better players.
But T's got a point, man. It's always been the young guys that come in and just outbest the old guys, man, and
I
just
mean,
change the game.
we kind of saw who Mahomes' kryptonite is with Joe Burrow.
That was year two, bro.
If he can be healthy, I mean, the guy gets hurt all the time.
That part.
Cincinnati O line.
Yeah.
Righty, we are at time. Seems like we have an interesting round of topics to hit back whenever we come back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
When are the playoffs? The playoffs start in 2 weeks, right?
3.
Nah, we
Still
got
three
three
more
more
weeks.
weeks of the season.
Damn.
Alright,
We need to hurry this
YouTube,
shit
this
up.
is it for us. We will catch y'all in 2 weeks. Y'all have a great Christmas and Happy New Year.